Good afternoon. I'm Kerry Lutz. I'm joined by Bill Powers of Mining Stock Education. Today in mining, this is truly a somewhat momentous occasion. With today's announcement, we will see a pure play silver miner clearing the final hurdles to actual production in the United States. And with us now is CEO and Director of Aurcana, Kevin Drover. And
good afternoon, guys.
It's great to have you on again, Kevin. These are really exciting times. And you just recently announced a debt facility. Tell us about its significance and tell us about the financial condition of Aurcana.
Well, this has been something we've been working on for some time, and unfortunately with COVID, it's slowed things down considerably, but we finally got there. Our announcement came out this morning that we've got our credit facility in place. It's a $28 million facility. It's repayable over a 5-year period. It's got a 12-month grace period, gives us opportunity to get into production, so on and so forth. So for us, it's a bit of a game changer. We can now see our way through to production, and it's what we've been working for to get ourselves in that position to be able to put that first ore through the mill. And right now, our feasibility says 6 months from the time that we're funded to the first ore through the mill, 9 months to positive cash flow. So we're looking at ore through the mill in the beginning of the second quarter of 2021, and hopefully cash flow positive by the end of June 2021.
Well, that is great news. I know you've been working tirelessly at this nonstop since we met. I'm a shareholder. Obviously, you're a shareholder. The stock right now, you're feeling undervalued, fairly valued?
Well, I think we're really undervalued on this stock. We've got the revenue of Virginia's mine. If you compare us, say, to an Alexco, we're barely half their market cap. And here we are just 6 months to production. I think we're way undervalued. We also got Shafter sitting there. It's in the pipeline. It's fully permitted. It's got a 1,500 ton a day mill on site. Yes, it needs some work. It needs a bit of drilling, and it needs some technical, needs a feasibility study. But that will come online, and once that comes online, we're going to be upwards of 5 to 7 million ounces production a year. We're way undervalued, in my opinion.
When do you think production's going to get underway?
Well, we've always said that from the time that we're funded to first ore through the mill, it'd be 6 months. So we're looking at April of 2021 right now. That's our target, to be putting ore through the mill in April of 2021.
Wow,
it's not very far away.
That's right around the corner. I mean, here we are. The year is almost over, and 2021 is going to be a big year for you. And annual production, I know these numbers are tough because in a startup situation, you have to ramp up production, obviously. What's your best guess?
Well, we're targeting to get up to production by the end of the second quarter of 2021. That's 270,000 tons a day. We're going to be mining the highest grade, some of the highest grade areas first. We want to bring that grade forward. We'll have a debt facility. We'll want to repay that. So we're going to bring that forward. So we're going to be looking at 3.5 million ounces per year on that the first year, second year kind of thing. But beyond that, our mill is built for in excess of 500 tons per day. We're shooting with our pre-production development to have 4 stopes available for when we go into production. We only need 2 stopes. We want to be able to get our production profile in place. We want to get our metallurgy in place. We want to get our cost profiles in place. Once we achieve that, and I think we'll be able to do that fairly quickly. This mill has run before, the mine has been around before, so it's not like we got to, we shouldn't have to go through a lot of teething pains. So I think that we're going to be, certainly by the second year, we'll be looking to organically grow our mining rate from 270 upwards of 400. And that means just bringing on 1 more stope. We only need 2, we'll have 4, so we'll bring 3 on. We still have a spare. in case something happens. And that should take us to between 4.5 and 5 million ounces a year. So we're really going to be pushing hard to get ourselves up to that 5 million ounce a year. And then we have Shafter that we can bring online right after that within the next 18 months to 24 months. So, that should be certainly see us with a re-rating and a revaluation, and hopefully that would reflect in the share price.
All right, that all sounds great. Thank you, Kevin. And Bill, over to you.
Kevin, could you update or further speak to the long lead equipment that you ordered? When do you expect to have that come in? Will it get there before the snow?
Yeah, no, what we did here, we made a decision, I guess it was in August, that, if we had a chance of getting ourselves into production, and things were looking good from our debt financing, it just takes a while with this COVID. But we did make the decision to order the long lead time items. And the reason we did the long lead time items ordering, plus some of the work at site that's currently going on, was we wanted to take those bottlenecks away. We didn't want to be susceptible to the winter weather and whatnot. So we're going to have those long lead time items here on site before the end of the year. We're going to have our escapeway finished before the end of the year. We're going to have our change rooms, our rail yards, our staging areas, our passive water treatment. We've let the contracts for all of this. It's all in various stages of completion, but it's going to be done before the end of this year. So I'm very positive at this stage of the game. We're looking to be on track here to get ourselves in production in that first part of the second quarter.
Kevin, congratulations, as Kerry said, on closing this debt deal. We've been talking about it ever since I first interviewed you on this show back in January. And then the follow-up question is always, after you get the debt deal, when production? Well, you've addressed that. We're looking at April of next year, early Q2. And so is that pretty much the definitive date at this point? We have our long lead time order. We have the debt facility in place. Investors can pretty much expect everything to come through by early Q2 next year?
Yeah, that's the target. Now, the board still has to make a production decision. And of course, we're announcing today that we've got that credit facility with an approved term sheet, but we still have to do the definitive documentation. So that's, we're looking at probably finishing that sometime late November. All of this stuff, as you well know, takes some time to do. But yeah, all things being equal, no further delays, we're good to go. But the board has to make that official production decision, and we have not made that, as we stand right now. But we're very close. We're acting as if we have.
You've been ordering equipment, but I understand you've also been hiring employees. So what number are we up to at this point?
Well, at full production, we need 140 people, between 140 and 150 people. We have about half of those on board right now. We have roughly 71 people. So that's 71 that are on site right now. Those people are mainly miners. They're mainly underground miners. And they're doing that pre-production infrastructure development that we have to get done. For instance, we're doing 3 raises, and those raises go from the 2,000 level all the way up to the 1,200, 1,150 level. So that's 850 feet vertically. And we got to be able to get materials up there. So we drive the raise. We're going to put an elevator in or a hoist, and put our ventilation, our water, air, electricity. And that gives us the ability then to very quickly go up and down to get our people and our machinery and whatnot moved to the right places. We'll be developing levels from there, from each one of these, the 1,800 to 1,500, 1,200, 900, and 600. And they will tie into our main escapeway and our main ventilation shaft. That we have a contractor working on that right now, and that's a $3.5 million contract. So we're doing all of these. We're getting these in. The number 1 shaft is going to be to move men and materials. 2 and 3, one is to move waste down. The other one is to move ore down. And once we get those in place, then we're able to actually develop the ore itself. So right now, the 70 people that we've got are focused on getting that long-term infrastructure in place, and that's what we're doing right now. We're using contractors for the rest of the things that we're doing, like the winter tailings is being constructed, the buildings, the change room is being constructed, the passive water treatment is being constructed, and the escapeway is being rehabilitated and an elevator being put in that, and that's all contracted work out. So we're focusing right now on the underground infrastructure ourselves with our 70 people.
We previously talked about you moving your family to Ouray, but then COVID kind of threw a monkey wrench into that. Is there any update on that front?
Well, we're still working hard on that. I'm hopeful soon. Where it stands right now, and it's really been slow because of COVID for sure. The embassies have been closed, and there's one embassy in Canada that would allow me to get my visa to go there, and it's closed, and it's in Toronto. So we're waiting to get an interview, and that's been the holdup for the whole time, believe it or not. I'm still able to get into the U.S., and I go down periodically, but every time I go and every time I come back, I got to do a 2-week quarantine here in Canada. But you know, the guys that we've got on site down there, we've got our CFO is down there, Brian Briggs is there, Mike Lee, our general manager is there. They're doing a hell of a job, and you know, things are moving along pretty well down there right now. So I'm not too worried, but I am anxious to get there, and hopefully I'll get there before the end of the year, and hopefully before the end of November.
My listeners know that I was on site there 2.5 months ago, and one of my key takeaways was just the exploration potential going underground and above ground on top of the mountains, and just seeing the exploration potential. And that's what I look for in a growth-oriented producer. So you have that exploration potential there in Ouray, but you also, as you kind of referenced, have that future pipeline potential growth in Texas at the Shafter mine. Can you talk in a best case scenario, if this truly is a multi-year silver bull market, what type of time frame and how would Shafter come back into production?
You know, this is probably something we don't talk enough about. You know, we've been focused on getting ourselves into production, and rightly so. We need to focus on that, and we don't want to lose focus from that. But from an exploration perspective, we are positioned so well. We do have Shafter as a pipeline. This is a project that's been in production as recently as 2013. It's got a 1,500 ton a day mill. It's fully permitted. Does need some drilling. Does need a little bit of technical work. Our intention, as I said previously, is once our technical group can get a breather, you know, we get ourselves into production, we can divert a couple of the guys to look at that project down there. So that's one that we'll be looking at bringing online. But just organically within the land package that we currently have, we have 9 veins on our property. Virtually all of our resources are on one vein, on the Virginia's, the Revenue Virginia's vein. It's the highest grade vein, but all these other veins, the Atlas Cumberland, the Yellow Rose, the Wheel of Fortune, the Klondike, you know, and our access tunnel going into the mine that we have right now, it cuts all these veins, so we have access to them. These veins, for the most part, were in production previously, yet we haven't had the time to go and explore these, but they're there, they're available to us. The Revenue Virginia's vein itself, just to talk about that for a second, we own 18,000 feet of strike length on that. Our current reserves and resources are only on 4,000 feet of that 18,000. We trace the vein on surface. It's, you know, we get great hits. We can see the vein. So we're very, very optimistic that, you know, this is not going to be a 7-year mine life. Yes, that's what the feasibility says, but the upside on this is just tremendous. This is a 25, 30-year and maybe longer mine, in my opinion. But that's those things. There's the Shafter. There's the numbers of veins that we got. There's even the exploration on the existing vein. But in addition to that, we're in the San Juans. There's been thousands of mines in the San Juans in that particular region. We're the only permitted mine, mill, and soon to be operating mine in that region. There's ample opportunity for us to consolidate that area. There's mines around there that we know very well. Brian Briggs, 6th generation guy, he's crawled all over these mountains. He knows them well. So we're going to capitalize on some of those things as well. So, you know, we're going to look to consolidate some of that as we grow the company. And this is other ways to bring value to our shareholders. And I think that, you know, we don't want to lose focus on what our job is right now, and that's get revenue into production, get it cash flowing. but we've got a lot of things to do in addition to that, all in good time.
Kevin, my final question is, do you know of any analysts that are going to begin to cover the company?
Yes, we should have some analyst coverage coming out fairly soon, as a matter of fact. So hopefully we'll get a bit of a look from an independent perspective, what we think the company might be valued at. So I'm not exactly sure of the timing, but probably within the next couple of weeks.
Excellent. Well, congratulations again, and I look forward to looking at the 2021 financials and seeing positive cash flow, hopefully.
Super. Yeah, we are as well. And guys, thank you very much. Good talking to you as always again. You're always welcome. Come to the site for another visit.
Looking forward to that. And Bill, thanks. Kevin, thanks for this important update. I know you'll all want to go find out more, so just go over to aurcana.com. That's AURCANA.com. Sign up, get the latest notifications. Ticker symbols on the TSX Venture, AUN. And for U.S. investors, you find the symbol under AUNFF. And that's it. Thank you, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure.